What are your rights if your ex remarries? Well, my name is Goldman. I'm the director and founder of Goldman and Associates. Our firm has a primary focus on family law issues here in Michigan, and today we're going to continue our video series designed to educate and inform the public. So please subscribe to our channel. If your ex remarries, it's not going to impact certain things. For example, if your ex remarries, it's not going to impact child support. If your ex remarries, it might not even impact alimony, or it might, just depending on whether or not the alimony is dependent upon income and household income, and whether or not the alimony is modifiable or unmodifiable. In most cases nowadays, in most jurisdictions, the alimony is going to be subject to modification if the court finds a change in circumstances. So whether or not a remarriage impacts alimony is a different story. In some places it might, some circumstances it might not. The issue of step-parenting, though, becomes a problem, because when somebody remarries, now all of a sudden there's a step-parent involved. What's the role of the step-parent with respect to the child? And I guess the best way to say it is, from a step-parent standpoint, what are you supposed to do as a step-parent with respect to the child? And the answer is, and it sort of answers both, all a step-parent is supposed to be is a good host. That's it. You're not supposed to get unduly involved in the raising of the child. You're not supposed to be unduly involved in the disciplinary functions with respect to the child. The parents are there. It's their job to work that out. Your job is to be a flower on the wall. Nobody's asking for your opinion. If you're asked, you could provide it to your spouse. Your spouse is one of the parents, and you could say, look, privately, this is what I think, this is what you think. You can weigh in on it between the two of you, but you're not going to be involved in court proceedings. In most cases, the court's not going to care what you have to say from the peanut gallery about it, because there are two living parents who are responsible to the court. The court has 2 point people with respect to this. Mom and dad, doesn't need a third. So now there are circumstances where one of the other people is completely out of the picture, and then a step-parent becomes more important. But you got to understand, in the normal situation, we have a blended family. Your role as a step-parent is going to be a good host to this child, to let the parents work things out as best that they can. That's your basic job. And that's a job that you should do, and it's a good job, but you have to understand what your role is. Sometimes the new parent will cause the new marriage will cause a disruption in parenting time. Now that could happen too. Sometimes the disruption comes about because of the marriage and because of all the things and honeymoons that disrupt schedules. That could be a part of it. Sometimes it becomes a disruption because a new parent is now picking up the kids at school. A new parent is now involved, whereas before the other parent used to be involved. A parent-teacher conference occurs, and all of a sudden a step-parent is showing up. Well, step-parent doesn't belong at the parent-teacher conference, but at the same time, maybe the step-parent is the one who's helping the kid in math, and so has to be at that conference. So I think flexibility is the order of the day with respect to that issue. I think, your child is living in a house that's partly owned by the step-parent, partly owned by the parent. They hold it together. So in that scenario, you got to realize you may not want the step-parent involved at all, but there will be, as a practical matter, some involvement. The most important thing is that there should be a respectful relationship. Step-parent shouldn't try to step on the toes of the biological parents. Stepfather is not the father. Stepmother is not the mother. And they need to understand what their role is. And they need to understand that they take a backseat to the others. And they may not like that. And they may feel uneasy with the fact that the mom still has so much involvement with the ex-husband. But you know what? That's what you bought into when you married the woman with children. That's what you bought into when you married the guy, and he's, a father, and there's another woman on the other side. There's an ex-wife. You bought into that. So now you're going to have to tolerate it. But there is a way to do it, and there is a way to do it so it's workable, and that's what you should be going for. If you have any questions about that, reach out. We'll be glad to help you out.